Hello and welcome back to another Dare to Game video. Today we're playing Mount & Blade 2 Bannerlord, specifically the Realm of Thrones Total Conversion mod, which brings the whole world into the Song of Ice and Fire world. Converting the map, the people, the armor, the troops, everything. Even adding in a little bitty story that I quite like, and unique models for castles, like the twins, making some of them much harder to besiege than they are in the basic game. But honestly, it's a very fun mod, and I definitely recommend checking it out. Today we're continuing our armor series with our last one in the series. I've already covered basically every single faction in depth. I covered Essos in a very long video, but all of them clumped together. And then I did the nondescript, the other armor that's been added to the mod, but it isn't super well tied to any well-known faction or anything. Now I'm going to clean it up with just the named items for specific characters from the show, the books, whatever. So these are going to be things that are very, very specific. They're not worn faction-wide. You don't see them on more than one person, essentially. So that's why I wanted to make this video today. So we're just going to dive on in and get to that. There aren't really a lot of troops to do for this one. I mean, I could look through the characters list in the glossary and show you these people, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to, I might. We'll see what happens. No, I'm not going to, because I haven't gone around and met all these people, and it doesn't show you most of them. So we're just going to go through, and I'll show you the armor. So we're going to start out with lucky Ned himself, Ned Stark, and so this one is just all created around one item, the Ned Stark clothes. So you can see it matches the clothes that Ned Stark wears in King's Landing in the first season. So around that, we of course have the noble default plate armor reinforcements, so invisible head and shoulder armor that give us extra armor value. No gloves, and then I just use some sturdy leather boots to pair with it. They might look a little bit weird with it, but basically brown leather boots would be what I would pair with this outfit. But there isn't anything named for Ned Stark's outfit other than his clothes. So that's our first one. Next up, we have Peter Baelish's outfit from the show, and this is centered around the Baelish clothes and Baelish boots. So those are both named items for this outfit, and then of course we just have our plate armor reinforcements and noble default to give us extra armor value. Once again, no gloves associated with this suit of armor, but that is Peter Baelish's outfit, which has been brought into this mod. Next, we have Robert Baratheon's outfit, and this is centered around the Baratheon King's clothes. It's really the only item that is added in specifically for this. Now, I'd probably use different boots, but I just don't have any other ones that I could use. But, some brown boots to go with this as well. If they had Robert's crown, that'd be cool. Robert's warhammer exists in the game, so that would pair with this outfit relatively well. But that's Robert Baratheon's kingly attire from the first season. Next, we have the Blackfish's armor, so Brynden Tully. This would be Hoster Tully's brother, the uncle of Catelyn Stark, the Blackfish. So basically it just looks like other Tully armor, but the sigil up here is black instead of, being brown with blue and red. But yeah, that is Brynden Tully's outfit. It's centered around two items, the Blackfish armor and the Blackfish shoulders. Then we have our noble default, some Lord gloves, and the Riverlands boots. But I think it looks pretty cool, and it definitely looks like what Brynden Tully wore in the show. Next up, we have Brienne's armor from the show, and this one, once again, is just based on one item, which is the Brienne armor. All the rest of this doesn't necessarily go with it, but obviously fits relatively well. So we have the noble default for head, plate armor reinforcements for our shoulders. Then for the gloves and boots, I just did the Lord gloves and the Aaron plate boots too. The boots I did because they match the color and general vibe of the armor, and the gloves because, they fit in well enough. So that's Brienne's armor from the show. It's mostly, like I said, just, the body armor. Next, we have Bronn's armor from Sir Bronn of the Blackwater, or of course, probably before he was Sir Bronn. But this one is all centered around one item, the Bronn leather armor, or of course, the Bronn leather armor with mail, which just looks slightly better. All the rest of this I just tied in as it fits, so the noble default and the plate armor reinforcements for our head and shoulders, the arm wraps, and leather cavalier boots for the rest of it. I think it looks decent. Doesn't look great, but Bronn's armor in the show didn't look great. Alright, then we have three variants of Cersei's different outfits from the show, so Cersei Lannister. So I think that's too much attention to give her character, because I hate her character in both the books and the show, but we do have three of them here. So they're centered around her dress each time. So we have, the first one is Cersei's red dress, and I've paired with that the lady's shoes, plate armor reinforcements, and noble default for the helmet. No need for gloves on this because it's a dress, obviously. Then our second one for her just swaps out Cersei's red dress for Cersei's armored dress, which gives us this sort of little armored corset looking thing. And then the third one, and probably best looking one, is Cersei's dress. This one is the black variant that you see in the later seasons of the show. Same boots for that one, plate armor reinforcements for the shoulders again, and then we compare Cersei's crown with it. So that is the the three different outfits for Cersei Lannister in this mod. Next we have Daenerys Targaryen's outfit. This one's interesting because it actually comes with the hair, so you can make any female model in the game have the exact hair that Daenerys had, so that's cool. cool. This one's made up of Daenerys' hair, Daenerys' dress, and Daenerys' boots. I did not put any gloves with it because, you know, they look weird when you try pairing it with a dress like this. And then, of course, the plate armor reinforcements. So overall, not bad. I'd say this one looks a lot better than the ones for Cersei because they form fit the body a little bit better and the hair obviously helps. But that is Daenerys Targaryen's outfit. Next, we have the Hound's armor. So Sandor Clegane. This one, the model definitely looks like it could use some work, like the what they used for it. But well enough. I would have preferred if they would have also included his cool Hound helmet that you see in like the first episode or whatever. Definitely fits with the armor well enough. But anyway, this one is centered around two items, the Hound armor and the Hound boots. They appear to be the only named items for this suit in the game. Other than that, I just paired the Lord gloves, the plate armor reinforcements, and the noble default for it. So that is Sandor Clegane's armor in this mod. Next, we have two variants of Jaime's northern armor from the last season of Game of Thrones. I know like people like to forget about that, so I won't linger on it too long. These are just, these two variants are centered around two pieces of armor. The Jaime northern armor, which is this red variant, and then the Jaime northern armor 2, which has this yellow undercoat, but they both have the same coat of plates, brigandine style armor on top. I always thought this was interesting in the show. I'm sure it was an armor choice that he made based on him trying to appear inconspicuous on his trip to the north, but it always seemed weird to me that one of the most wealthy people in the entire show, you know, who has access to as good of gear as he wants, would show up looking like an extremely ill-equipped mercenary. But anyway, to go with these items, I just pair the plate armor reinforcements, noble default, Kingsguard gloves, and the sturdy leather boots. So that's Jaime's northern armor. All right, and then we have the Jon Snow armor, which is our first one that comes pretty dang close to being a full suit of all named items. This is obviously Jon Snow's armor from after he gets murked and becomes king in the north instead of Night's Watch type of guy. I don't know how many spoilers I should put in considering the show is rather old at this point. But anyway, this one's made up of the Jon Snow boots, Jon Snow vambraces, Jon Snow armor, Jon Snow gorget, and of course the noble default. So that is Jon Snow's armor, and like I said, looks pretty decent. Next we have Lyanna Mormont's armor, which I guess I could have used on the female model, but you know, whatever, it looks fine on the male model as well. This one is centered around two items, the Lyanna Mormont armor and the Lyanna Mormont shoulders. All the other stuff is not descript for it, so I just went with the noble default for the helmet, Lord gloves for the gloves, and the Iron plate boots too, because, you know, they're black plate, which matches with the darker plate of the upper armor. So pretty cool. This is seen, Lyanna Mormont wears this in the final season of Game of Thrones at the Battle of Winterfell. I would say overall it looks like a pretty good suit of armor, so I quite like this one. So that's Lyanna Mormont's armor. Next we have Mace Tyrell's armor, as seen in the episode where the Tyrells almost do something cool, but then they don't. This one is made up of three items, Mace Tyrell helmet, the Mace Tyrell armor, and then the Mace Tyrell bracers. And then on top of that, I went with the plate armor reinforcements for shoulder armor and the Reach plate boots, as they are the only boots that the Reach has claim to for their entire faction. So that is his armor. I think it looks pretty ornate. I like his plumage. Of course, that's always fun. It's just a decent enough ornate suit of half plate. So that is Mace Tyrell's armor. Next, we have Melisandre's outfit. This one is based off of just the Melisandre dress. With that, I paired the noble default, the plate armor reinforcements, and the lady shoes. So if you want to look like Melisandre, you can do that if you want. That's her dress. Same thing goes for Margaery's dress. So for Margaery Tyrell from the Reach. This one is just centered around Margaery's dress, so no other named items with this one. I put the noble default, plate armor reinforcements, and lady shoes with this outfit. Next up, we have the Mountain Who Rides, or Gregor Clegane. This one is a full suit of all named items, so you gotta love it for that. And of course, it looks exactly like his suit from the show does, so you also gotta love it for that. This one's made up of the mountain helmet, mountain pauldrons, mountain armor, mountain gloves, and mountain boots. So this is Gregor Clegane's armor. Looks super heavy and super heavy duty. Obviously, not a lot to complain about protection-wise here, but it does not look like it would be very light to carry around. So that is Gregor Clegane's armor in this mod. Next, we have Podrick Payne's armor. Now, obviously, his armor changes in very, very subtle ways throughout the entire show, but this outfit is just based off of one item, the Podrick leather armor. And then around that, we have the plate armor reinforcements, the noble default, and then I just added the Lord gloves and the Riverland boots, since they match the color and general style of the outfit. So that is Podrick Payne's armor. Next up, we have Renly Baratheon's armor, and there are two variants of this one. It's another full set, so I gotta like it for that. This one's made up of the Renly crown, Renly shoulders and cloak, Renly armor, Renly gloves, and Renly boots. So it all matches well together and obviously matches his outfit from the show. The other variant is instead of the Renly armor, which just has this, sort of gold gorget, then we just have the Renly clothes, which do not. So of course, if you want to wear this on the outside and then have your civilian outfit have the just clothing variant, you can in fact choose to do so. But that is Renly's armor. Next we have Stannis' armor, Stannis the Manus, leader of the Dragonstone faction in Game of Thrones. For this one, it's based off of two items, the Stannis armor and the Stannis cape, which you can see look exactly like the stuff he wore in the show. Then we added in the noble default for the head, the Lord gloves, and the Dragonstone boots, because they all match going together. So that is Stannis the Manus' armor. Next up, we have Tyrion Lannister's clothing. So this would be his Hand of the Queen outfit. It definitely looks proportionally a little bit weird when you have it on a, taller person, because it widens out the body with the dwarfish aspects and looks a little bit strange, but other than that, looks pretty dang good. So this one is made up of two items, Tyrion's clothes and Tyrion's boots, and then to round it out, we did the noble default, plate armor reinforcements, and Lord gloves. So if you want to dress up as Tyrion, this is a good set of clothing for that, although I would try to, if you're going to roleplay as Tyrion, obviously try to make your character match that when you're building the character. But that's Tyrion's clothing. Next up, we have Varys' outfit. So Lord Varys, the Master of Whispers for a good portion of Game of Thrones. This one is made up of two unique items, the Varys clothes and Varys shoes. I did not do boots because, gloves, because when you do, they kind of clip out through it because his sleeves go way longer than his arms do. And then of course I rounded it out with the plate armor reinforcements and noble default. So looks pretty cool for Varys' stuff, I suppose, if you wanna look like that. I think it makes more sense for a civilian outfit than for your armor, but to each their own. That's Varys' outfit. And lastly, for our named character specific unique suits of armor, we have Ygritte's armor. So this one is just around this one piece, Ygritte's fur armor. It is obviously she's a female character. That being said, it also looks normal on the male model in the game. But to build out the rest of this outfit, I added in the noble default, the plate armor reinforcements, Kingsguard gloves, and sturdy leather boots. And I think it all together looks pretty good and looks somewhat like what Ygritte wears in the show. So that is our final outfit as far as named character outfits in this mod go. But that's it. That's all for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope I didn't miss any. If I did, definitely let me know down in the comment section. And remember, I'm doing this not based on one that is modeled after a person, one specific person, but is named generally in this mod. I'm talking about ones that are specifically named for a specific person, not a house, not a region, one person. So, with all that being said, thanks for watching and have a nice day. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching another Dare to Game video. If you like this video, please leave a like and a comment. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the channel. If you like my content and would like to support this channel, consider becoming a member today for as little as $1.99 a month. It makes a huge difference. But in any case, thanks for watching and have a nice day. I'll see you next time.